Good morning, student. In the previous class, I have discussed with the concept and the importance of the staffing. Okay, in today's class, I'm going to start with the staffing process. So, in the staffing process, as you see on the left hand side image, there are 5 steps, that is estimating manpower requirement, recruitment, selection, placement and orientation, and training and development. But as you see on the right hand side, we have 8 steps, that is estimating the manpower requirement, recruitment, selection, placement and orientation, training and development, performance appraisal, promotion and career planning, and the compensation. Okay, what is the difference between both the process? That the 5 steps are involved when we have a large organization and we have a human resource department. But in case if we are with the small organization, then we have to perform all these 8 steps. So let's understand the 8 step one by one of the staffing process. The first step is estimating the manpower requirement. It basically means how much or the number of employees we are required in an organization. So it involves making inventory of current human resources in terms of qualification, training and the skills. Means how much human resource we are required as per their qualification, training and skill. Next is assessing the future human resource need of all the department. Means we require the human resource as per our future need, okay, in every department. Next is developing a program to provide the human resources. Job analyze is an intensive way of finding the details related to all jobs. So we develop a program to provide the human resources, and we do with the help of the analysis. And these analyze is basically divided into 2 categories, that is workload analyze and the workforce analyze. Okay, workload analysis is done to know about number and types of human resources required for the performance of various jobs, and workforce analysis done to know about numbers and types of human resource available in the organization. This will help to know if organization is overstaffed or the understaffed. सो बेसिकली वर्कलोड एनालाइज के अंदर हमें ये पता चलता है कि हमें कितने स्टाफ और किस टाइप के ह्यूमन रिसोर्स की ज़रूरत है. बट वर्कफोर्स एनालिसिस में हमें क्या पता चलता है, जो हमारे पास ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट स्टाफ है, क्या हमारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन उससे ओवर स्टाफ है कि अंडर स्टाफ है, और वी हैव अ ऑप्टिमम स्टाफ. तो वर्कफोर्स एनालिसिस से ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट या अवेलेबल ह्यूमन रिसोर्स के बारे में पता चलता है. बट वर्कलोड एनालिसिस से हमारे को क्या करना होता है, हमारे को नंबर ऑफ या टाइप्स ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स ज़रूरत होते हैं, तो उनको हमें हायर करना होता है. ओके, and the difference between the workload and the workforce analyze help to determine whether we have a shortage of manpower or we have the surplus of the manpower. Suppose with the help of workload analyze, okay, we see that we require 4 teachers of the business study, but with the help of workforce analyze we show that there are 3 teachers already present. So this analyze help the principal to appoint only 1 teacher for the business studies. The next step after estimating the manpower requirement is the recruitment. Recruitment refers to the identification of the source of manpower available and making the efforts to secure applicant for the various job position in the organization. So basically recruitment is a process of searching or identifying the prospective employees, and we stimulate them to apply for the jobs that are available in the organization. So basically recruitment is a positive process because with the help of recruitment, we attract the number of potential employees. Okay. For example, in the previous example, we see that we require one more teacher for the business study. Okay, so the principal may choose to advertise the post of business study teacher in the leading newspaper or any other way. So this is the basic example of the recruitment. Next step, next process is the selection. It is a process of choosing and appointing the right candidate for the various jobs in the organization through various exam, tests and interview. So after recruitment, selection is done, and selection is a process of choosing the best candidate among the available or the number of candidates for the job. So selection is basically a negative process because it selects only the most eligible employees and we eliminate in the selection. And recruitment for us is a positive because it brings number of candidates, and selection is a negative because we eliminate many candidates. Okay. For example, when the post of business studies is advertised, now the school will select the best resume and call the selected candidate for the interview. Okay, now the school will examine all the teachers that apply for the post of business study through the various exam, tests, interviews or the demo, and we select the most appropriate candidate among the available candidates. Now the next steps are placement and orientation. When a new employee reports for duty, he is to be placed on the job for which he is best suited. Placement is a very important process as it can ensure right person for the right job. So placement basically refers to the employee occupying the position for which he has been selected. Okay, next is the orientation, and or we also called induction. Okay, it is concerned with the process of introducing the new employee to the organization. The new employee are familiarized with their unit, supervisors and fellow employees. The employees will also be informed about the working hours, procedure for available leave, medical facility, history and geography of the organizations, and rules and regulations related to their wages, etc. So basically, orientation is a process of introducing the newly employed with the supervisor, subordinate and with the colleagues, and we familiarize him with the rules and regulation of the organization. Okay, so when the BS teacher is appointed, now the principal might familiarize him with the other staffs, and he might give the important instructions like the time of joining or the leaving of the schools and various with the other rules and policies of the school. The next step is training and development. Training is systematic training helps in increasing the skills and knowledge of the employees in doing their job through the various methods. So training refers to the process by which the skills and abilities of the employees get increased. Okay, which helps in the increase in their performance. Next is development. Development involves growth of an employee in all respects. It is a process by which the employees acquire skills and competency to do their present job and increase their capability for the higher job in the future. So basically, development refers to the learning opportunity which help the individual or the employee to grow in all the respects, so that it increase its efficiency to do the job in effective way for the future. For example, the school may hold workshops and seminars for the teacher that helps the teacher to adopt the new teaching strategies, or it helps them to grow further. The next step is performance appraisal. It is concerned with rating or evaluating the performance of the employee. Transfers and promotions of the staff are based on the performance appraisal. So basically, under the performance appraisal, we evaluate the performance of the candidate or the employee, and on the basis of their performance, we make a decision for the appropriate candidate. We might be give a promotion to them or give a transfer to the higher post. Okay. The next step is the promotion or the career planning. Under this, the movement of an employee to a higher position is basically called the promotion. Means when we evaluate the employee's performance, then we give the promotion. Okay, means we move to the employee to the higher job position, and it is necessary because it encourages the employee to grow and realize their full potential in the organization. The next and the last step is the compensation. Compensation basically means all the form of rewards or the pay that we give to the employee. Okay, compensation can be in direct way or in the indirect way. So like salary or the basic pay is the direct compensation or the direct reward, and indirect pays are like the job security, their risk responsibility, all these type, or the medical facilities. All these types are the indirect compensation that we give to the employees. So these are the 8 steps in the staffing process, that is estimating manpower. Next is recruitment, selection, placement, training, performance appraisal, promotion, and last is the compensation. In the next class, we will discuss about the elements or the components of staffing. Okay student, thank you.